All right. Good morning, everyone. Let me get the link here and post it to all the places. We were having some super weird tech problems this morning. Um, my computer just is not having it. Just will not connect to YouTube Live. So I've had to switch to my personal computer. And do it from there. So hopefully you all can see me now. I was talking to myself for like 5 minutes, not realizing that this wasn't working. So go ahead, pop into the chat for me, say hi, make sure that you can see me. Um, Tell me if you can see me and hear me, so that I know that I'm not just talking into the void. Hey Danielle, hey Gabriel, hey Sveta, hey Gunika, hi Alina, hi Navraj. Good morning, Marissa. Hi, Hina. Oh, Gunika, thank you for that feedback. It's really hard for me to tell if it's working or not. Um, Seriously, I was talking to myself. I was getting started with the poem by the time I realized that nobody could see me. Hey, Dikshita. Hi, Ashley. Hey, Fatima. Hey, Nadine. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Naila. It's awesome to have you all here. I'm just going to take a second to go post this new link in all the places so that everyone goes to the right video and doesn't um, go to the other one that I guess isn't working. um, Go ahead and tell me how you're doing. How is your Thursday morning going? What questions do you have? What's going on for you all this morning? Hey Navraj, video meetings for my class are required twice a week. Okay, so you'll come to 2 Google Meet videos a week. Um, so if I did not see you yesterday, that means you'll be coming um, today and tomorrow for this week. And that's a way for us to check in and make sure that you're understanding all the school stuff. Oh my gosh, Naila, it was really hard to get out of bed this morning. I am totally with you on that. Deekshita, you're still in bed. See, that seems nice. That's good. I have to get up and be in a workspace or else I'm not going to get anything done at all today. Danielle, it is weird not having to go to school physically. It was interesting. The poem that I thought about reading today was about commuting and how it's such a positive time in a person's morning. Like it's the time where you get to spend alone, um, just sort of doing your own thing, get some quiet time before the day begins. So it was weird thinking about that as we aren't commuting anymore. Alina, it does feel like a Tuesday just because yesterday was the first real day of our school week. It's super weird. Oh, Naila, today is Spirit Day. The choice was workout or all out, meaning all out in Mustang gear. So if you saw the poll, I let everyone decide today. It was really close. It was almost a 50-50 split. Um, but workout is the one that won. So I am in some workout clothes today. I will post that picture later today. I thought about going all out. I actually had sort of a funny one. If we had done all out, I was gonna do a Friends reference. Um, if you remember the episode, it's Joey and Chandler are fighting and arguing, and to punish Chandler, Joey puts on every piece of clothing that Chandler owns. And could I be wearing any more clothes? So I was gonna put all of my Mustang shirts on. Could I be wearing any more shirts? But instead, workout gear. Um, Good morning, Rocky. So, Navraj, to join a Google Meet, you just go to the link in the announcements of Canvas for whichever meet you're going to go to. You would probably go to the fifth period meetup, but if you can't make it to that one for any reason, you're welcome to go to a different class periods. That's fine. Um, so that's how you get there. Yeah, Marissa, I love that episode. It's one of my favorites. Um, all right. Sorry, I just have to post this link in one more place. And then we will start reading our poem for today. Okay. All right. So today I'm going to start us off with a poem. This is the poem of the day from poets.org. And I'll put that that link in there. For my AP seniors, you have hopefully, you'll remember this website. Poets.org is a place where you can find so many poems, so many poets. So they're organized in lots of really cool ways. And one of the things that we can do with it is it has a poem of the day. So every day they post a new poem. And one of the cool things about it is that it almost always has like the author, like an audio file of the author reading their own poem. And so that's really fun. Um, Danielle, it's not bad that you've never seen Friends. It's an old show now. Um, I don't remember if it's even still on Netflix or not. I don't remember if they had to take it down. Wait, Danielle, you also have not seen SpongeBob? That's maybe a problem. That show's still going. Okay. So the poem that I'm gonna read for you today is called Migration. It's the poem of the day from poets.org. Um, and I'll put the title and the author in here if you want to go look it up. Um, for our AP students, yesterday we had several people ask if you should be doing your quick writes along with these poems each day. And remember, that's not a requirement. It's just something that you could do if you want to maintain that consistency, you want to keep practicing, if there are certain skills that you want to make sure that you're getting in. And so this poem today, I think, would actually be really useful if you're going to do a quick write to consider some of the imagery, some of that figurative language, but also of contrasts. That was one that I think a lot of us have felt like we haven't had enough practice in. So this would be a good one to practice that. So if you are planning on doing a quick write based on this poem, go ahead, grab your writer's notebook and a pen or a pencil, and I will begin a reading. All right, so this is Migration by Jenny George. Crows assemble in the bare elm above our house, restless, staring, like souls who want back in life. And who wouldn't want again the hot bath after hard work, with soft canyons of splitting foam, or the glass of spring water cold at the mouth? To be startled by beauty, drops of bright blood on the snow, to be radiant. All morning the crows watch me in the garden, putting the early onions. Their bodies look oiled. Back in, back in. They shake the wooden rattles. So I like that poem. I like that idea of using the title of migration to think about going to a new place, um, and having somebody wishing for it to go back and go back. I think a lot of us have that feeling right now, and I think the imagery in the poem is really lovely. All right. So I'm now, unless we have any thoughts, questions, ideas about that poem that you want to share with me, I'm going to just move on to our book talk for the day. I'm trying to make this one a little bit shorter, especially with the tech issues I was having earlier on. And then yesterday I was like late to my own Google meeting for first period, so I want to make sure that I'm out of here in time. So today we're going to be reading the first page of An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. Um, this book is so fun. It really is. It's like part mystery, part sci-fi, part young adult fiction. It's so cool. So you all probably know something about Hank Green. He's the guy who does like SciShow and the Crash Course Science videos. He is John Green's brother. Um, but this book is so different from any other John Green book. They might be brothers, but they are not similar in terms of their writing, both in plot and in content. This book is super fast paced. It's super fun. I'm going to read the first page and then I will tell you a little bit more about it. So, the first page, it starts. Look, I'm aware that you're here for an epic tale of intrigue and mystery and adventure and near death and actual death. But in order to get that, unless you want to skip to chapter 13, I'm not your boss, you're going to have to deal with the fact that I, April May, in addition to being one of the most important things that has ever happened to the human race, am also a woman in her 20s who has made some mistakes. I am in the wonderful position of having you by the short hairs. I have the story, so I get to tell it the way I want. That means you get to understand me, not just my story, so don't be surprised if there's some drama. I'm going to attempt to come at this account honestly, but I'll also admit to a significant pro me bias. If you get anything out of this, ideally it won't be you being more or less on one side or the other, but simply understanding that I am, or at least I was, human. All right. So this book is about a 20-something-year-old woman, April May, who one night going home from work at 3 o'clock in the morning sees this huge, gigantic structure. She thinks it's an art piece. She lives in New York. And she gets there, sees it, and decides that it is really cool. And so she goes ahead and grabs her friend and her roommate, Andy, and they make a video about this huge, gigantic sculpture. Um, and it goes viral online overnight. Um, because what has actually happened is what she thought was a sculpture, just like a random artist putting their sculpture out in New York City. She calls them Carls, and these Carls have been found all over the world in major cities. And because of this, because she was the first person to talk about it, first person to make a video, she becomes like the spokesperson for Carl, and she becomes famous overnight, incredibly famous. And she has to deal with that both in her personal life, her relationships, her identity, and also just learning how to be a public figure. And I think this book would be a really good choice for sort of our like current times because just like us, it felt like almost overnight we were um, pressed into this new world of being in quarantine and in global pandemic. Um, and that's sort of what April goes through in this book is she sort of has to deal with becoming famous overnight, having her whole life changed overnight, and sort of adjusting to a new normal. And it's a cool way to sort of discuss that book. So I'll put the name of it in the chat, and let me answer some of these questions. Laura, I'm still putting together a list of free places to find books. Some of the comments in here, you can find PDFs online. You can still use Amazon. But I have a lot of like specific links where you can find free PDFs of books. Um, and that should be able to help. If you are looking, you can look on our Learning Commons website, just click the Destiny Discover button. And then when you search for books, you can search just for ebooks or just for audiobooks, and then you can get there easily. Yeah, Gunica also, if you, Gunica's right, if you go to San Francisco Public Library or if you have a different library card, you can always go to their Overdrive, which is a way to find books, ebooks online. You can also use Hoopla. I'll put those in there too. And again, I'm trying to put this together as like a big document for everyone. So if you are looking for new books, that you can find them. Um, I know that it's hard to find books. If you are really struggling, or if you're looking for specific book recommendations, let me know. I've already been sending some people book recommendations, and I think that's really helping. Y'all are moving through books quick. um, it's awesome to hear you all are reading so much. All right, so I'm gonna try to head out here pretty soon. Any last questions for me? Thoughts, concerns? Um, hey, Indiana, questions about the mug of the day? Danielle, book recommendations that aren't fantasy? Are you looking for something specific? Like, um, a lot of people are often interested in like a specific, I want to read a book like The Bluest Eye. Give me a book that you want something like, and I can help you figure it out. Um, the one that I was talking about today, this one is not fantasy, right? It's barely even science fiction. It's more like a mystery, adventure, young adult fiction. It's really fun, and it's a fast-paced read, so it really keeps you engaged and interested the whole time. Okay, whoops. I now have two computers open since I had to switch to my personal to do this. I was using my mouse for a second before I realized that it's connected to my other computer. Navraj, yeah, fifth period meets at 1 p.m. Yeah. Danielle, like City of Bones. Okay, so I haven't read that one, so I might not have a great recommendation right at this moment. I sort of know what it's about. I know it's a young adult book. Um, I'm curious, have you read Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell? That was the one that we talked about in during Success on Friday. Um, I'll put that um, title in the chat. Um, and then let me think on it a little bit more, and I'll try to come back to you with a better recommendation. All right. All right. So for now, I'm gonna head out so that I can be on time to the first period Google Meet. And I will see you all tomorrow. Happy Thursday. Always remember who you are, what you represent, and to show your Mustang pride. Bye, y'all.